Hey everybody, it's your pal Drew Dracy, and now for something completely different. Somerset Holmes and Cliffhanger by Bruce Jones, Brent Anderson, by the legendary Al Williamson. Love this painted cover. Published by Pacific Comics. Pacific Comics was actually a distributor, like way before Diamond became a benign monopoly. I think they called it. Now it's no longer one. Random House or Penguin Publishing, I don't know. But anyway, PC started to come out with their own comics. And similarly, so did Capital. Capital came out with Nexus, Badger, and Whisper. And it didn't last that long. PC lasted a while, but I'll tell you what, PC that was like the logo of quality. You had Jack Kirby's Captain Victory. You had just so many other great characters, or great comic books from PC. You had these, they brought back these Twisted Tales, all these horror stories that Bruce Jones would do with like really great artists. And this came on my radar way back when because my older cousin, he bussed tables at Eaton Park and did all kinds of odd jobs. And he had, in 1983 or 4, so he must have spent every cent on comics and vinyl. He had a huge collection. What I liked is I could go and visit and I could just sample everything. So this really caught my eye because it's so different from what was the norm back then. We see painted covers all the time. We see computer painted covers, but this was I guess I'll say groundbreaking because it is a grounded, no superheroes. It's a story that was made to shop around to movie studios, and that sounds kind of silly now, but in the because the last 20 years everyone's been publishing, big companies, small companies, to get into Netflix. It's sort of like a stepping stone, and some of the stuff's good, and some of the stuff really looks like, hey, Netflix, we're out here. So you have varying quality. And she's the model for the main character. April is her name, and she's married to Bruce Jones. And Bruce is inking himself on this. No, not Bruce. Right. Really, really cool stuff. Little drop-offs on the leg. That's a great way to write. Written by Bruce Jones. And this I love because it looks like almost like magazine illustration art from the 50s or 60s, just or early 70s. So she gets up, she's in the middle of nowhere, clack, 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 takes her shoe off. Love that. Love little touches like that. Well, she comes across one house that has a doctor in it. And, are you a doctor? And she's all bagged up, and you're going to be fine. She's waiting and waiting and waiting. And what's interesting is she's sitting there, but she's not in any titillating, evocative, poses. She's just sitting there like anybody, And, Mr. Hinkle, aren't you going to look at me? And he's dead. I love that lighting from the phone. It suggests so much urgency, her body language. And the other thing, too, is like, the phone's not lighting up. But if you're like near a fireplace or anything and you move a little bit, all of a sudden you might get these shadows roaming around the room. So it's really well done. So she picks it up. Did you get it? Is he dead? How'd it go? Say, who is this? So now she doesn't know her name, and but she does know she's in the middle of something really ugly. And colors by Brent Anderson as well. So zoom in, baby. Zoom in. Okay, there we go. Love that. Love those. I love the simplicity of the line. Like, just because it's far away doesn't mean it has to be super tight, like Phil Jimenez or whatever. I love Phil Jimenez. I'm just saying, there's room for everybody. So she's washing her face in this cheap, crappy bar. what's interesting is like the fact that they color a bruise like that. Maybe it's a little too purplish, but I would probably go a little darker. But still, to put actual bruise on a main character, because you see people fighting all the time in comic books and nobody looks bruised except for like a little cross hatching here or there. Well, some guy grabs her and slam. Also has a very Neil Adams quality to it. That is fantastic. And then he gets the swirly to end all swirlies. Wow. And then she's like, how did I do that? So it's a really good story. Or it's a good mystery, I guess. Light. Color starts entering the picture. Guy picks him up. He goes, got my 40 acres down at Fairvale. You got a handle, miss? Oh, yeah. Somerset's my name. Somerset Holmes. So, yeah, she saw the sign from the development called Somerset Holmes. Now, Pacific Comics did lead the way. It didn't last long, though, damn it. I mean, when you're a distributor, I mean, it does seem obvious to do a comic book to publish through your own I know what I'm saying, distributorship. But I just, for some reason, it didn't get much traction. There was some Bernie Wrights and stuff, Jack Kirby. All of it was quality. They introduced the Rocketeer in one of the issues. Al Williamson, yeah, baby. Colors Joe Chiato, who would go on to be a quite popular painter who did a lot of like superhero trading cards and so much other stuff I can't recall. He did some graphic novels too. I think he did a Black Widow graphic novel for Marvel in the late 80s. And yeah, I mean, you know, you can't go wrong with Al Williamson. When I worked at CrossGen, the one cool thing that I really liked was on the walls were covered with original art. Some of it was new, crappy art from like an image hack or two, but a lot of it was classic. He had Al Williamson. There was an entire story Al Williamson did that's very popular called 50 Girls 50, and he had the originals, and they were just exquisite. He had the huge frame. The ink was graying, but you could still make everything out. It was just, you know, sometimes if I'm having a shitty day, I would just go over and look at that for a while. Lighting is just right. That's great with the scissors. So these guys wanted to make a movie. So, and you know, it's easy to just hand a few issues to a, you know, an agent or somebody else, and then they can pick this up real quick. Okay, got to go back to Cliffhanger. Oh, Agents of Chaos. You got another. In fact, Pacific started Guru the Wanderer with Mark Evanier and Sergio. I was going to say Cariello because I know Sergio Cariello, but it's I can't believe I'm blanking out. I feel like an idiot now. I mean, just now, Sergio Aragones. So I only grew up on his stuff in Mad Magazine. How can I forget his name? So much drama going on there. That's so wonderful. I love it. His classic work. And they even had a book. They'd have books dedicated to like one artist, like Jeff Jones, who became Jeff Catherine Jones a long time ago. Mature readers. So, you know, it's like you could have the right photo reference, but unless you know the proper where to lay the lines down, where to delineate, when to not lay lines down, is very important. Which it keeps the photo reference looser. You know, there's some. You just kind of. What Anderson does is he takes. Like, this is pretty simple, doesn't have to be elaborate, and he puts down what needs to be put down, and he gives the story breathing room. Sunrunners. I did that the other day. Voice of Doom. I actually wish this was all in black and white, but that's okay. How about that? Wow. And he's always been great. I mean, he's been an inker for Marvel for 30, 40 years at least. And nice stuff. So a little seedier side of life there. Special thanks to Steve Lealoha and Al Gordon and B. Marker. Two great inkers. That's probably just a gag because maybe he was using a certain kind of marker to ink. I love that angle. There's just a lot of chaos going on, but it really reads like a movie. I don't even know if it was ever optioned. Pacific Presents issue 4. Issue 1 or 2, I think, is what introduced the Rocketeer, Dave Stevens' Rocketeer. I don't know how many issues this went on for. Like I said, Pacific Comics didn't last that long, unfortunately, because they were the trendsetters. But a lot of other companies took these orphan books and published them, like Eclipse Comics did, First Comics did. Capital Comics was also a distributor that became a... that is great. I love that. Boy, that is great. So frosty looking, just like, leave me alone or I'll run you through. Oh yeah, now it's Eclipse Comics. That's right. PC faded with the third issue. No, fourth issue. Then Eclipse took over, and Eclipse was becoming the industry standard. They had tons of talent that they basically found Tom Lyle, Chuck Dixon. I can't think of his name. So many talented people. I can't think of their names. Mark Evanier, Will Mignot. Let me think. All that stuff from... I can't believe I'm blanking out. You know what I'm talking about. Look up Eclipse Comics. You'll see a ton of creators that are fantastic, and they got their start because small publishers didn't pay as much, and it was sort of like the farm team. It's like, like when I got into comics, I knew I was going to ink Batman right away. I inked a version of Justice League America, which was 6 months before the revamp by Grant Morrison and Howard Porter. So this is where Williams had nothing to prove because he was a strip artist. He worked for EC Comics, but this was just a passion piece for him. And I'm trying not to give everything away. And that's a great cover too. Lots of stuff going on there. What gives Bruce Jones nightmares? Yes, after a hard day's writing, there's nothing like a nice hot shower. And let me see. Is there any cliffhanger at the end of this? I don't want to spoil it. Oh, yeah, okay. Because I don't want to spoil the ending of Somerset Holmes. But I do recommend it. Now, the coloring is by Joe Ciotto and Scott Sayavdera. He did a indie book for one of the smaller publishers I can't recall during the black and white boom. Real nice basic colors. I love it. Well, just a little more nuanced, though. See, what kept me from buying a lot of these books at the time is, perfect. I love this guy. I did an episode on him before, Paradox. He basically has the same powers as Kitty Pryde. He could phase in on the walls, but he's a Brit who is a bit of a bum, and he just gets his costume. He's trying to be a cool shit. Really fun stuff. And it was serialized in Strange Days. The American book. It wasn't taken from 2000 AD or whatnot. But anyway, the price point is what kept me from buying so many comics, because at the time, 60 cents was the price of an average Marvel or DC comic. And I couldn't appreciate the thicker paper and the higher production values, because a lot of us comic fans who hit those dollar bins. We're cheap SOBs. We won't. But this was great. It's really, really reasonable. It's very affordable. If your local comic shop has it, or you get off eBay like I did, and it's just good stuff, good solid stuff. And that's about it for this episode. And I hope you like it. I hope you want to check it out. It's terrific fun. It's good seeing it again. That's it. I'm just going to ramble. Oh, no. Please hit like and subscribe. Share with somebody, please, if they're a comics fan. Leave comments below if you've read this before, or if this grabs you, or if you didn't like it, or you have to correct me on something. I'm totally cool on that, because I totally wing these episodes. I don't write anything down, although sometimes I should. But that's it. And everybody have a great day. Bye.